Good evening. I'm bringing you to my lounge this evening and I wanted to share with you all 6 simple exercises to improve muscle strength in older adults. It's really important that as we get older we continue to move. Our muscles, just for a little bit of info for you, deteriorate 8% of their strength every 10 years. So that old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it, is so true. So by the time you were 80, if you didn't do any exercise, you would lose 40% of your muscle. So it's really important to keep moving. So what I wanted to do this evening is just share 6 simple exercises. Please be aware of your own health before you do any of these exercises, and obviously consult your doctor if you need to. But they're simple ones, so I'm hoping that everybody could join in. Posture is the most important thing we need to think about. We need to be standing as tall as we can, for as long as we can. So we're making sure our shoulders are over our hips. Our head is as if we're leaning it back against a wall. So you want your sort of chin tucked in a little bit. And our feet are hip width apart. So your feet, to get your hip width apart, if you're not sure where that is, place both feet together, turn one foot out and then turn the other foot out, just about 45 degrees, like Mary Poppins style. And then just turn your heels so they're in line with your feet. That will be about hip width apart. Knees are soft and you're reaching the crown of your head towards the ceiling. That will give us perfect, or not perfect, because none of us has perfect posture, but will give us beautiful posture and help us to stand tall. We're opening out our chest as well and just drawing our shoulders gently down. The first exercise I want to give you is just transferring your weight forward and backwards. So all you're going to do, and again, hold onto a chair if you need to. That's why I've got my chair here. You're just going to bring your weight into your feet, into your balls of your feet and into your toes. And then bring your weight back into your heels and just let your toes come off the floor just a little bit. So we're just transferring that weight from forward to back. Pulling in that tummy gently so you feel that contraction of your tummy muscles. And that doesn't mean sucking in so hard you can't breathe, okay? It's just being aware of them. That will connect those core muscles which we need to help us stay balanced. Again, if you can do this with your hands by your side, then please do. So I'm just transferring, and if I show you, my weight from forwards to back, nice and gently. Now the other thing we're going to do, similarly, is just transfer your weight from one foot to the other foot. Again, if you need to hold onto a chair when you do this, I'm not moving through my hips, I'm just keeping my heels still on the floor and my balls of my feet on the floor, and I'm just moving as if I was on a ship. So I'm swaying from side to side like I was on a ship. And you can feel those muscles working, even doing that small movement. So that's our first exercise, weight transfer. The second exercise I want you to try is a heel raise. Now, this you can do doing it one leg at a time if you need to. So holding onto your chest, standing nice and tall. And I would recommend running through this video a couple of times if you need to, just to check the exercises before you start. So I'm just going to peel one heel off the floor and then place my foot back on the floor. And then peel the other heel off the floor. So that's the first stage of a heel raise. Just doing it one leg at a time. Now, if you're quite happy with that, you're going to pull in through here, gently tuck in through your bottom, and then come onto the balls of your feet and lift your heels off the floor. Again, if you look, I'm keeping my eye line looking forward. Soon as you look down, look what happens to my posture. So I need to stand nice and tall as I do this. And you can add your breathing to this as well if you want to, so you can take a breath in as you come up and gently breathing out as you come down. Now you want to do about 8 to 10 of those. And then you'll really feel the benefit in your calves and working through your feet as well. The next one we're going to do, exercise 2, is a toe raise. Similar to the heel raise, you're just one at a time going to lift your toes off the floor and take your weight into your heel. So I'm just lifting my toes off the floor, but I'm still standing nice and tall. Use the chair if you need to. That's why, or a wall, you can lean on a wall as well. Now, if you're quite happy with one side at a time, do both together. But again, if you feel like, oh, I might fall over, but you'll find that your thighs start to fire up, your tummy muscles start to fire up, even doing that small move. So that's a toe raise. You want to do about 8 to 10 of these as well. And you can just wriggle your toes as well. Is a good exercise for your feet, like you're playing the piano with your toes. Now our next exercise is a balance. Balance is so important as we age. A lot of older people tend to find that they fall sometimes, and so we need to improve that balance. So to start with, we're going to do just a lifting your heel off the floor. That might be enough for you for your balance to start with, but if you're okay with that, you're going to lift your toe off the floor, your heel, sorry. Then you're going to lift your knee and then place it back on the floor. So if I turn sideways, you can hold onto the chair, lift my heel to start with, make sure I've got pulled in through here and through my bottom, so certainly the standing leg, and then looking forward, lifting that knee, then place it back down. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. Take my weight into this leg, make sure it's not locked out, so slightly bent at the knee, then lift that knee and then place it back down. If I come face on so you can see, again, hold on to the chair if you need to, but I'm pulling in through here. My shoulders are staying gently over my hips so that they don't tip forward. As soon as I look at the floor, what happens to your posture? All curls up so it stands nice and tall. Again, you can add your breath in and gently breathing out. Breathing in and gently breathing out. So that's our balance. Use the chair if you need to though. Our next exercise is a heel to toe walk. Walking is obviously fundamental. We need to be doing it until the day we die. So you're going to take one foot forward as if you were going to take a step, put your heel down and put your toe firmly onto the floor, and then take your back heel off the floor. So if I come back a little bit so you can see, so I'm taking that foot forward, back heel off the floor, then bringing that foot back, and then I'm taking the other leg forward. I'm making sure, if I come face on so you can see me, I'm making sure that I step about hip width apart, because if you bring your feet into a tightrope position, it will make you possibly a bit unbalanced. So I would just step out and make sure that I've got that posture in my feet still. Heel, and then as if you're planting your feet, and then bring it back again. So we're stepping out. So I'm not taking my back foot, my back heel just comes off the floor as I come forward. Still standing nice and tall. So that's our little heel toe. Again, 8 to 10, until you've had enough. Last exercise for you, exercise 6, is a sitting and standing exercise. Might sound quite simple, but it's quite important that we practice it. So I'm sitting on the chair, got my feet firmly on the floor, again about hip width. And I'm not slouched back in the chair, I'm sitting nice and tall still. And then the first thing, if you've got arms on your chair, you can use it to push off if you need to. So if I put my hands here, I'm going to tip forward. So I bring my weight forward over my feet. Feet are back in towards your chair. And then I'm going to put all of my weight onto my feet and then push up to standing. So my big quad muscles are working. Then I'm going to sit, hinge at the hips, sit back down, and then sit up tall. So each time you tip forward first, then put the weight into your feet. Make sure that weight is nice and even into both feet before you do that. So sitting tall, then pushing up to the top. Now if you want to make this a little bit trickier or challenging, let's use the word challenging, you can do it with your arms across your chest. So I'm going to make sure I hinge forward, push up with my legs and come up to standing. So it's all working through the legs, which keeping us mobile is one of the most important jobs that we can do, isn't it? And looking after ourselves. And again, do about 8 to 10 of those. And I hope you enjoyed that. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas.